Okay, I'm back. Now, where were we? Oh yes, that's right, we were suffering greatly. Okay, February 12, 1936, Washington, the Battle of the Overpass. In Detroit, Michigan, automotive capital of the world, leaders of the United Auto Workers, Walter Reuther and Richard Frankenstein, called a general strike against the Ford Motor Company and began which they called unionism, not Fordism, demanding higher pay and less hours. At 2 p.m. today, a photographer from the Detroit Free Press asked to take a photo of the leaders of the UAW standing on the overpass with the Ford sign in the background. While they were posing, 40 men with batons from the Ford Service Department, an internal security force, came from behind and began to beat them. The group then beat some of the beret-wearing women arriving to pass out leaflets. National dissent changed by plus 1%. This will hurt us more than it hurts the Unionists. Probably right. February 12th, 1936. World premiere of Modern Times. The premiere of Charlie Chaplin's new movie, Modern Times, is attended in New York by personalities such as Jack Reed, Marceau Pivert, and Philip Snowden, especially coming to the USA. The comedy film featuring Chaplin's famous Little Tramp character is seen as an anti-capitalist and anti-Fordist manifesto in favour of the combined syndicates of America. After a few days, it is censored by the federal government, judged as too provocative a few months before the election. I don't know if that was banned in real life, actually, that film. I don't think it was. So bad, it was so funny. There we go. National dissent changed by plus 1. Again, our total national dissent is now at 21.95%, which is not particularly good. And it's making us lose even more industrial capacity, which is rather annoying. We do have need 0 supplies, which I suppose is okay. 520. We don't even have that much. Shit. I guess we're gonna have to cancel these then. Oh well. No, you know what? We'll actually just keep them as they are for now, and put everything into consumer goods and 0 into production. And that way, we don't cancel them, but we still could carry on building them later when we've got more industrial capacity. One of our ministers has died. Robert D. Chapin is no longer available. Damn. I guess. I don't know who he was or anything, so liberate nation. We can liberate Puerto Rico and Hawaii, apparently. I'm not going to, though. What's the point? Let's have a look at some of our ministers. This will probably change very soon anyway, but I'd rather screw around with them anyway just to get the best results we can for now. That would be quite good. Extra security. We don't need foreign IC use. Why are you in power? That's ridiculous. J. Edgar Hoover. You'll do. I've heard of you, so that's something at least. Right, we don't need army intelligence at all. No, sir. Actually, influence nation chance plus 20%. That would be pretty good. So, Gerald K. Smith, you are our new head of intelligence. Chief of Staff. Douglas MacArthur. Chief of the Army. Malin Craig, I guess. Chief of the Navy. Yeah, that's fine. Chief of the Air Force. Oscar Westover, I suppose. Right, that's all sorted, I suppose. So that's okay. How much money are we making every day? 4.24. That's not very good. In fact, I don't even know if that'll be able to pay for a single tech team. Because we need the money, you see, because... oh, what's that? Purchase licensed unit. Purchasing licensed units means equipping our armies with vehicles sold by other countries instead of those produced by our own industry. This is a quick solution to equip new units with materials that our industry is not able to build or doesn't have the time to. What do we need to do that then? At least 4,000 money. I see. Well, cool. It's a neat little event type thing that could pop up. Anyway, we need all the money we can get because later on we'll have an option to try and fix the economy with stimuli and things like that. But you can only do that if you've got plenty of money. So I'm kind of skimping on the research a bit right now in favour of making more cash. March 17th, 1936, Washington. Father Charles Coughlin's CBS radio broadcasts. 3 years ago from today, Father Charles Coughlin started doing a weekly radio broadcast in America, and more than 50 million people turn on their radios and listen. He is a raving anti-Semite, claiming that the syndicalist revolution in France was forementioned by the Jew, and that the Berlin stock market crash is an international conspiracy of Jewish bankers, and somehow people still tune in. His hate speech will not be tolerated by the church, and the Pope is expected to make a decision whether to ask the United States government to shut down his broadcast so his hateful message cannot reach the public. We can go with Coughlin as becoming a dangerous proposition. Shut him down. Relation with Italian Federation +20. National dissent changed by +5. There is nothing we can do. National dissent is changed by +3, and in relation with Italian Federation is -15. Now, this is interesting because the Italian Federation are one of the few communist countries in Europe that we could potentially buddy up to. And unlike Spain, there's no chance of them actually turning into communists, which is great. So on the one hand, I wouldn't mind getting the +20 relations bonus with him, but on the other hand, it would be very un-American to just ban this guy, even in this alternate timeline, I imagine. It seems a bit dumb. So I don't know. What's our relation with these guys at the minute, anyway? I can't do anything because the stupid message box is up. Well, there's nothing we can do for now. I don't really want the extra dissent hit anyway, I suppose, so... And we can increase relations with them diplomatically through other means. After all, right, they're -44 with us. These guys are -49. The British are +149 with us for some reason. Which is odd, but anyway. The French hate us. The Germans aren't too fond of us. The Hungarians can't stand us. The Austrians don't like us very much. The Bohemians are indifferent. Polish aren't very fond of us, neither are those guys. Russia's okay with us though. They're +41, that's not so bad. Ukraine doesn't like us much either. Neither does the Ottoman Empire. What about these guys in India? Those guys don't like us. Delhi does like us, and the communists like us a little bit. Interesting. I think we'll be siding with Delhi, naturally, since they're part of the Entente and all that. And the Canadians are quite fond of us as well. Come to think of it, we lack the funds to influence nation, wow. Well, anyway, yeah, we'll be buddying up to Canada, like I said. At least attempting to, anyway. But we have no fucking money, which is terrible. Oh, okay, more stuff. The St. Patrick's Day flood. On March 16, 1936, warmer than normal temperatures led to the melting of snow and ice on the upper Allegheny and rivers. Honestly, when it comes to some of these names of places in America, I'm almost as bad at pronouncing them as I am places in fucking Poland or something. These rivers and their tributaries were already over their banks and were threatening the city of Pittsburgh. On March 17, 1936, the waters reached the flood stage of 25 feet. Heavy rains overnight caused the waters to rise quickly, and on March 18th, the water peaked at about 46 feet, 21 feet above flood stage. We must help the people, or they will help themselves. We will lose 10 money, national descent will change by -1%, and we'll lose a bit of resources. Or they will help themselves, and we can do a George Bush, and national descent will increase by +2%. No, we will help them. The cost for it was pitiful anyway, so we might as well have. George H. Dern is dead, apparently. True tragedy. Good lord, we have 3 industrial capacity. 3. We are literally on a par with somewhere like Tibet right now. This is terrible. Good god. At least our descent is going down a bit. Slowly. The Indian Citizenship Act of 1936. In order to try to gain more sympathy from the North and the West, it has been proposed from the Senate and House that an Indian Citizenship Act be passed, granting all indigenous peoples of the United States elevation from second-class citizens to first. You mean they weren't already? But oh, well, yes, I suppose this is pre-civil rights America after all. Pass the act. Hopefully this will gain us some sympathy, or veto the bill. Well, this is a no-brainer, isn't it? Pass the act. Dissent is now at 26% as opposed to 29%, so that's nice. We have 89 monies. 89. Which just went down to 59 for some reason. What's happening? Soviet Russia has declared independence from their former oppressors in Russia. Oh, okay. So, a second Russian civil war has broken out. Now, for everyone who watched my previous Let's Play, this is the alternative route you can do with Soviet Russia, by the way. I did mention it, but you never got a chance to actually see it in action, obviously, because I did the peaceful way. But yeah, you can do a civil war, and then you can play as either Russia or Soviet Russia and have a big old civil war and try and take over that way. Which is what normally happens in the average game at Kaiserreich. This will happen here, and the Reds will probably get crushed because they never seem to win ever. So they're led by Nikolai Bukharin and Mikhail Frunze. They're totalist, and our relations with them are -50. And Russia is an authoritarian democrat led by Anton Denikin and Pavel Milyukov. So I think they've gone with the military coup type event line. So they haven't got a Tsar. They haven't got Wrangel, who's like this kind of fucked up weird Russian Nazi guy. And they've got Denikin instead. And they haven't got the Mensheviks or whatever, so yeah. I suppose they're fairly close to authoritarian democrat. That's kind of, I suppose that's kind of fairly close to modern Russia in a sense, I guess. But anyway, that's what's going on abroad anyway. I think India is going to be an interesting thing to deal with, actually, because if war breaks out in India, and I think if Delhi start to lose at all, I might consider actually sending troops over there, almost Vietnam or Korean War style, to deal with the commies and possibly these princely federation blokes down here. Because the princely federation are the ones that sympathise with Germany. Delhi are the ones that sympathise with Canada and that, and these guys obviously sympathise with the Commune of France and stuff. So yeah. But that's the cool thing about playing as America. We've got a big fucking ocean on either side of us, preventing anyone from literally declaring war and invading us straight away. So we can kind of sit around and just fuck about in the third world if we like, sending troops off to have little bush wars and things, just to get them more experience in this, that and the other, you know. It's kind of fun, I guess. Not like when you're Russia, for instance, and you're constantly under threat of invasion. Actually, let's go and have a look over here, see how the Reds are doing. United Provinces annexed Panama. Hey, what? Oh, okay. I thought they meant the Panama Canal then, sorry for a second, but that's a separate thing. Okay, so United Provinces. So Central America has essentially turned itself into one big-ass country called the United Provinces. Oh wait, no. There's also Honduras and Central America as well. Interesting. Who hates us the least? Okay, Honduras like us a lot. These guys don't like us very much, and Central America don't like us very much. Mexico's cool with us though, even though they're syndicalist. We may have to deal with them. at some future juncture. Bloody communists. Who else in South America likes us? Colombia, Venezuela, Caribbean Federation quite like us. The Netherlands quite like us. Brazil like us. Everyone likes us, so that's cool. Hello. Oh, would you look at that? The RG's finally managed to get the Falklands back. Oh dear. That's a can of worms I don't feel like opening. Russia declared that... You mean they weren't already at war with Soviet Russia? That's ridiculous. But anyway. Okay, right. Well, the Reds are shooting right out. Oh, and the Greens are taking some back down in the south. Right, hopefully the Greens will win this. As I said, every time I've seen this happen, Russia always beats Soviet Russia. But, oh, the Olympics. Oh, fucking Olympics, God. Enough of that in real life. We shall attend the Olympics like every civilized nation, as we are one of the powers. Even if our importance is declining, we can dominate the Olympics. Let's go to the Olympics! National dissent changed by -1. It's now at 20% as well, our dissent, which is cool. Yeah, the parliamentary scandal. Oh no. Last week we had the displeasure of disclosing certain suspect activities relating to a prominent figure in the government. This week, the minister concerned failed to make a public speech denying his involvement in the scandal. However, an expert reporter of one of the national radio stations managed to press the minister into more or less confessing that he has not only lied to the public about his involvement, but also that he's been lying in front of the High Court on several occasions. Our political specialists tell us that this most probably will force the head of government to reshuffle his cabinet. Oh dear. That's a random event, by the way. That's not part of one of the programmed ones. Hence it says High Court there as a general term as opposed to the Supreme Court. And national dissent is changed by +3%. God damn it! I'm doing all my work. Oh, the Reds have Moscow at the minute. And obviously they have Petrograd. Oh, Jesse Owens wins 2 gold medals. Great news from the Olympics. Jesse Owens won 2 golden medals. One at 200 meters, second on long jump. People of the United States, especially Afro-Americans, have delighted over his success. He is a ray of hope in dark times. National dissent is changed by -2%. At least we are winning at something, says the box. I quite agree. National dissent is changed by -2%. Go! That's nice, I guess. He's the bloke that humiliated Hitler at the 1936 Olympics in real life, isn't he? So props to him, I guess. So yeah, the Reds have Moscow, but probably not for long. We've increased our intelligence funding. That's probably not a good idea right now, actually. But whatever. Russia declared war upon Finland. Uh-oh. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Finland normally side with Russia against Soviet Russia. What? In a war versus Russia? Oh dear. I could do without the Reds taking over in Russia. I really could. Bollocks. Depending on how this... I've never seen Finland declare war on Russia before like that. Or vice versa, actually. That's kind of weird. Anyway. The Great Heat Wave of 36. A heat wave has struck the continental United States and Canada. The most severe heat wave in the modern history of North America. The Great Heat Wave started in late June, went up over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 38 degrees C, if you're English like me, as the drought conditions worsened due to a lack of rain. Now on into July, the heat has increased. The heat has reached all-time records in Steele, North Dakota. Temperatures reached 121 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 degrees C. 50 degrees, fucking hell, that's hot. In Ohio, temperatures reached 110 Fahrenheit, which was close to tying a record high set in 1934. It comes in a time of major political unrest, with the America First Council a major force in Midwestern politics. Socialist and syndicalist mobs and militias are gathering arms in the Great Lakes region. The drought is continuing, and there have been over 3,000 reported deaths. Many people are suffering from heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Farmers across the continent saw their worst harvest on record, causing corn and wheat prices to rise quickly, and this heatwave does not seem to be giving up anytime soon. National dissent has increased by +2%.